Welcome back to another exciting lesson in Advanced Excel. Imagine if Michael Scott came to you and said, I like those checkboxes you did with the graph in the last lesson, but instead of seeing how the employees did by year, I want to see how they did by month. Well, in that case, you have a couple of options. One, you can make 12 different checkboxes to manipulate the graph that way, or you can use a combo box. So let's do that. Let's use a combo box. But right now we need to change our data up a little bit. Let's go to our unclean data. Let's go to our year, which actually I'll change this to order year, just so it's not confused with the delivery date. There we go. Let's go and insert, let's call this month, order month. And watch what I do this time. Instead of doing the flash fill or something like that, I need to manipulate this a little bit different. So actually he just wants to see how they did in the year 2019. So instead of just saying, the month over here, just like this one is the year formula, there's also a month formula where it takes a date serial number and it just gives you the month. But I need to specify that it's not the year 2020, it's just the year 2019. So let's do that. Let's say if the year, or this one over here. So we can use this cell over here since we already have a column for the year. So if the year equal to 2019, then month of this cell. So if the year is 2019, then bring back the month for the cell. Close that. And if it's false, just leave it blank. And enter. So it's copied it to all these other cells. Let's scroll down. There we go. Now we're seeing 12. Now it's going back. It's filtered by the order date. So it should be 12, then we should see 11 a little bit. There we go, 11. There we go, so it's working just fine. So now that we have that, let's go to our very last sheet, combo box. Now we can make our formula. Let's do equals SUMIF. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and insert our combo box. So this is it right here, a combo box. We'll put it right here for now. There we go. We actually need to make a list of the months. This is actually going to be really easy. January. Scroll down. I'm just going to copy this downward, and it's going to help us fill in the months. There we go. So right click, go to Format Control, enter Input Range. I'm just going to select these cells right here. So that's the input range. The drop down lines is going to be 12. We have 12 months in the year. Cell link. Let's put it right in E1. And OK. So now we can use our drop down list. Let's go to January. Of course, that gives us 1. This is combo box. There we go. And by the way, all these cell links and these labels over here, these would actually be in a different worksheet once you had your graphs and everything set to show your boss, because your boss doesn't need to see the cell link, so you can put that somewhere else. Or you could do what some people do, they highlight it and then make it white so it looks like it disappears. I'm press Control Z. I'm leaving it here just so you can see what's going on, so it'll make more sense. So I'll leave it here. But typically you would want your graphs in one sheet, then you would want your calculations in a different sheet, then probably your raw data in a third sheet. So keeping them in separate sheets will help you stay organized. The more organized you can be, the better. But for this lesson, I'll keep them here. But now let's go ahead and do our SUMIFs formula. Equals SUMIFs. Just like we did in the last lesson, the sum range will be the order table, it would be our order totals, there we go. Criteria range, order table, this will be our salesperson. Criteria would be the cell to the left. And we actually don't need to lock that because it's just going to be one column. The next criteria is the order table. It will be the order month. There we go. Let's close that. Criteria will be this cell right here. We will lock this cell. Let's press F4. It'll put those $signs in front of it and it'll lock it. And that should be good. Let's try this. Alright, let's go ahead and copy this down. Now if I change it to, let's say, March, what do you know? Now it's looking through this. It's looking for the 3, all the ones in March, and it is summing them correctly. So let's go ahead and graph this. So insert a graph. You can either use the recommended charts. It's perfectly fine doing it. You don't actually have to use any of these over here. Now I already know which one I'm going to use. I'm going to use this column chart. There we go. So now, if I change it, it'll show me how each of the salespeople did in those months. Pretty cool, huh? So the next lesson will be the last lesson for the form controls. We'll be going over the option buttons as well as the regular buttons. After that, we'll be talking more about the different formats you can use your charts and different more advanced features to make your data really stand out and look good for your employer. Like always, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you again in the next lesson.